And so, Bob and I walked out of Billy D's room, and one of us turned to the other and said, well, now we've got 3 members. That makes us a group. Billy D walked out of that hospital a free man, and we 3 went out looking for one more.
To pass it on. You know, even now I think I could knock back a couple of scotches. But then I'd say to myself, time to get back on the job, big boy. Time to go down and see some drunks on the ward. Giving of ourselves. Our own efforts, our own strength, our own time. This is what Bill W. learned in New York City, and I learned from Bill W. It takes practice to learn that level of service. For you newcomers tonight, I have a suggestion. Take the cotton out of your ears and put it in your mouth. Sit back, listen, and do what we do. Don't drink. Ask for help. Go to meetings. You know, every time I go to a meeting, I think back to that first meeting when Bill W. came into my life. I've come to think of Bill as a brother. Strangely enough, all evening long, he's been much on my mind. I reckon it's the same for each of you. Every meeting is like that first meeting. An act of faith that draws us together through that invisible thread that connects us all. I'd like to close tonight's meeting with a moment of silence.
Let me close with a word about Dr. Bob. One Sunday in November of 1950, I traveled again to Akron to ask Bob whether he and I should step down and turn over the government of the fellowship to its members. A radical idea at the time. Bob was in terrible shape, deathly ill, and after careful thought, he said, well, Sir William, it's AA's decision, not yours and mine. It's fine with me. A few hours later, I was to take my leave of Bob, knowing that the following week he was to undergo a very serious operation. Neither of us dared to speak what was in our hearts. As I went down the steps, I turned to look back, and Bob stood in the doorway, tall and proud as ever. Some color had come back into his cheeks, and he was carefully dressed in a light brown suit. This was my partner, the man with whom I'd never had a harsh word. And then that wonderful smile lit up his face. Then he said, remember, Bill, let's not louse this thing up. Let's keep it simple. And so that was the last time